Earth's magnetic protection is not uniform. The idea of a shield that is identical everywhere is convenient. It is also intuitive. If a compass works, if the auroras remain near the poles, if the planet seems covered, the mind fills in the gaps and imagines a smooth, regular bubble, the same at every point. That intuition begins to crack as soon as you look at a map of the field's intensity. There are regions where magnetism is weaker, and not by a small margin. There is a vast area above South America and the South Atlantic where magnetic protection is less effective. Not because the field disappears, but because its structure creates a measurable dip, a valley. This is the South Atlantic Anomaly, and its message is simple and unsettling. Earth does not defend every latitude, every longitude, every altitude in the same way. The misunderstanding comes from how we talk about a shield. In our experience, a shield is a solid object. It has thickness. It is stable. If it is intact, it protects. If it has a hole, it fails. The magnetic field is nothing like that. It is a fluid process generated by the motion of liquid iron in the outer core. It is not a rigid barrier but a geometry in constant adjustment. And when a geometry shifts even slightly, it can dramatically change what happens above, where charged particles from the sun and deep space move as if through a maze of invisible. What is striking is that the South Atlantic Anomaly is not just a cartographic detail for specialists. It is an operational region. For those living at sea level, the atmosphere does most of the protective work, making the effect almost imperceptible. But as soon as you gain altitude, the story changes. In low Earth orbit, where many satellites fly, and where the International Space Station also passes, that region behaves like a corridor of increased radiation. Not always in the same way, not with the same intensity, but enough to become a design constraint. To understand why, you have to shift your focus from the ground to the space around us. The sun constantly emits a wind of charged particles. When solar activity intensifies, that wind can turn into a storm, compressing the magnetosphere and reorganizing the electric currents that flow around the planet. The magnetic field deflects most of this flux, but some particles become trapped in stable structures, the radiation belts. There, energetic protons and electrons bounce along field lines, as if Earth had built a system of invisible tracks. The key point is that these tracks are not always the same distance from the planet. Where the field is stronger, the lines are higher, more protective. Where the field is weaker, portions of the radiation belts can dip closer. And this is where the South Atlantic Anomaly becomes tangible. In that region, the inner part of the belts drops to lower altitudes, bringing more energetic particles into the zones where satellites and sensitive instruments orbit. It is not a constant invasion, it is an increased probability. But technology runs on probabilities. A single impact can cause an electrical disturbance, flip a bit in memory, generate a false signal in a sensor, or create a rogue pixel in a scientific camera. That is why many satellites activate special protocols when crossing the anomaly. Some instruments are switched off. Certain measurements are suspended or flagged as potentially contaminated. Some systems increase redundancy and error correction. In that stretch of orbit, Earth stops being a quiet backdrop and becomes a source of noise. It is a fascinating paradox. Space is not the same everywhere, even when you remain at the same altitude. The difference lies below, in a magnetic geometry that varies with position. This brings us to the most important angle. The South Atlantic Anomaly continues to show significant weakening and changes over time. This fact is often reduced to an overly simple statement: the magnetic field is disappearing. It is a narrative shortcut that works for alarmism but misses what is truer and far more interesting. The magnetic field is constantly changing, on scales of years, decades, and centuries. The issue is not a switch, on or off. It is redistribution. where the field strengthens, where it weakens, how the zones of minimum and maximum intensity shift, and what this tells us about the deep engine that generates it. That deep engine is the geodynamo. In the outer core, thousands of kilometers beneath our feet, liquid iron moves in vast currents driven by Earth's rotation and temperature gradients. These motions generate electric currents, and electric currents generate magnetic fields. The result is not a perfect dipole like the one in school diagrams. It is a complex field, with multiple components, patches of varying intensity, and regions where the field's direction can be locally anomalous relative to the global trend. The South Atlantic Anomaly is one such expression, not a whole, but a combination of contributions that makes that region weaker, like a depression in a landscape. The landscape metaphor is more useful than the shield metaphor. Imagine undulating terrain, hills, valleys, ridges. Walking on a hill is different from walking in a valley, even if you are on the same continent. In the same way, moving through space above a region of stronger field is different from moving above a weaker one, even at the same altitude. And just as a landscape can slowly change through erosion and tectonics, the magnetic landscape can slowly evolve through the dynamics of the core. This change can be measured, tracked, mapped. And this is where the story stops being a headline and becomes a scientific narrative. If protection is not uniform, then risks are not uniform either. The most immediate consequences appear in space engineering, but they do not end there. Energetic particles can also affect the upper layers of the atmosphere, the ionosphere, which is crucial for radio wave propagation. During major geomagnetic storms, ionospheric conditions can become more unstable, disrupting communications and navigation. Again, this is not a global collapse. It is about regional and temporal differences. In certain places and at certain times, the system is more vulnerable. There is another detail that makes the anomaly even more compelling. It is not just a patch that grows or shrinks. At times, it can change shape, shift position, and even show a tendency to split into two minima. This is the point where the map becomes a clue to what lies deep below. If the zone of weakness deforms, it means that beneath it, at the boundary between the core and the mantle, the distribution of currents feeding the field is changing. We are observing a spatial phenomenon as if it were the trace of a geological one, but with a crucial difference. The geology here is liquid and electrical, not rocky. And here comes the question that matters more than any slogan. What does the South Atlantic Anomaly tell us about the future of the magnetic field? The most honest answer is not a blunt prediction but a principle. Earth's magnetic field has gone through phases of varying intensity and even polarity reversals in the past. These processes do not unfold as sudden disasters. They are slow, complex transitions in which the field can become more irregular and multipolar. The fact that we observe an area of weakness today does not mean a reversal is imminent. It means that the field, as always, is living through its dynamics, and that some asymmetries may become more pronounced. The point, then, is not to wait for a spectacular event. It is to learn to read the distribution of protection as a real variable of the planet, like temperature or pressure. No one expects the climate to be the same everywhere. No one confuses an ocean current with the entire ocean. And yet, when it comes to magnetism, we easily fall into the idea of a uniform bubble. The South Atlantic Anomaly forces us to abandon that notion. It compels us to recognize that Earth has an invisible geography, and that this geography has measurable consequences. What is most interesting is that this geography forms a direct link between three worlds. The world of the core, where liquid iron generates the field. The world of the magnetosphere, where the field guides and traps energetic particles. And the world of technology, which lives in orbit and depends on signals, sensors, and computers that can be disrupted by a single impact. When the South Atlantic Anomaly weakens or shifts, it is not just altering a map. It is subtly but concretely changing the rules of the game in which our space infrastructure operates. And in an age when we place more and more objects above our heads, discovering that protection is not the same everywhere is not a curiosity. It is one of the most tangible physical properties of the modern Earth. If you've made it this far, it means you value curiosity as much as we do. If you enjoyed this journey, leave a like, write a comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to support what we do. Your presence truly makes a difference. See you on the next exploration.